welcome to the Deep Dive. We love to unpack complex topics and really kind of pull out the fascinating insights. Today, we're going deep into the world of AI research.
Yeah.
A paper specifically that's, well, it's making waves, let's just say, in AI. It introduces a new AI agent. And this is not just an AI that follows instructions. It can actually evolve, like rewrite its own code.
Yeah. It's really a fascinating leap forward. It really it makes you rethink what AI can even do.
Exactly. So for our listeners, you guys know about AI agents. You know about large language models like ChatGPT and all that. So we're going to go deeper than that. And we're going to talk about this new agent called the Gödel agent.
The Gödel.
Named after Kurt Gödel.
The logician.
The logician.
Yeah.
That's right.
His work on self-reference and the limits of formal systems is kind of surprisingly relevant here.
So let's just address the elephant in the room. Why is this such a big deal? What are the limits right now with AI agents that this is trying to solve?
So even the most advanced AI agents that we see today are limited by their design. You know, they're made by humans.
Yeah.
They have a fixed set of algorithms and components, from their creators.
So they're like really, really good at certain things.
Yeah.
But their ability to learn is kind of limited, right?
Exactly. They're like specialists, really good at their job,
right,
but not able to adapt outside of their initial programming.
Right. So they can't think outside the box. They can't learn new things.
Yeah, they can't modify their own learning process or evolve, really.
Okay. And that's where the Gödel agent is different.
Yeah.
So this agent can not only learn, but it can learn how to learn better. It can analyze its own code, like figure out how to improve, and then rewrite those sections to get better.
Yeah. The paper has this really cool analogy to kind of explain this. They compare 3 types of AI agents. So you got hand-designed agents, you got meta-learning optimized agents,
right,
and then you have the Gödel agent.
Okay, so this is like a good way to visualize the difference.
Exactly.
Wow.
So hand-designed agents, think of them as robots with pre-programmed routines, right? Efficient but inflexible.
Okay.
Meta-learning optimized agents. Okay, so they're a step up.
Yeah.
They can adapt, they can learn from feedback, but they're still kind of stuck in that framework that they were given.
They can like master a subject.
Yeah.
But they can't redesign how they learn.
Exactly. And then you have the Gödel agent. This is the game changer. This agent can not only learn, but it can modify its own learning algorithms. It can actually rewrite the rules.
So it's like it can rewrite the textbook.
Yeah.
To learn more effectively.
Exactly. And that's the key difference, right? It's not limited by the structure it's given.
Right.
It can evolve. Okay.
Get smarter over time.
So this self-referential capability, this ability to analyze and modify its own code, that's revolutionary. But how does it actually work? Can you break it down for us?
So the paper goes deep into the technical stuff, but basically it boils down to 3 main things: self-awareness, self-modification, and this recursive self-improvement.
So this constant cycle, it's like look in the mirror, analyze, and then improve.
Yeah. So the Gödel agent has this amazing level of self-awareness. It can actually see its own code in runtime memory.
It's like it's looking in the mirror.
Yeah. It's understanding its own internal workings.
For an AI to be able to do that that blows my mind.
It's pretty amazing. And it goes beyond just observation. It can actually rewrite its own code based on its analysis and goals.
So it's not just looking at it, it's editing and improving in real time.
Yeah.
Which leads to that third thing, the recursive self-improvement. So it's this loop, analyze, modify, test, repeat. Each cycle, it gets smarter, more efficient, it learns from its mistakes, and it refines itself.
So it's learning how to learn better.
Yeah, it's a really cool example of how AI can bootstrap itself towards higher intelligence.
So they put this to the test, right?
They did.
They did experiments?
Yeah. They ran a bunch of experiments to see how the Gödel agent does in different situations.
Okay, so, all this sounds incredible in theory.
Yeah.
But how did it actually perform?
That's the question. And that's what we're going to dig into next. We'll see how the Gödel agent stacks up against other state-of-the-art AI systems. So let's dive into some of these experiments. See how this thing actually did.
Yeah. Put it to the test. Rubber meets the road time.
Exactly. So they tested the Gödel agent on all sorts of tasks like reading comprehension, solving math problems, scientific reasoning, you name it.
So like a real broad range of intelligence kind of testing, right?
Exactly. They wanted to see if it could really generalize its abilities, not just be good at one specific thing.
Right.
And the results they're pretty exciting.
Okay, so how did it do? Spill the beans.
Well, I don't want to spoil all the fun, but let's just say it exceeded expectations. In some cases, it even blew the previous best AI systems out of the water.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so there's this one task called MGSM. It's a really tough math problem-solving challenge.
Okay, math, not my strong suit, but go on.
Yeah, well, the Gödel agent, it actually managed to improve performance on this task by 11% compared to the previous best agent.
11%, that's significant.
It is, and what's even more fascinating is the Gödel agent actually learned to call for help when it needed it.
Call for help, like phone a friend.
Not quite, but Kind of. It learned to recognize when a task was beyond its current capabilities.
Okay.
And then it would request assistance from more powerful AI models.
So it's delegating.
Yeah, like a smart manager.
It's learning its own limits.
Exactly. It's understanding when to bring in the big guns, so to speak.
That's really, kind of amazing.
It is. It's a really clever strategy, and it speaks to the agent's ability to adapt and think strategically.
Okay, so we're talking about like math problems. Is there like a more concrete example, like a real world kind of thing where this shines?
Absolutely. So the paper talks about this really interesting case study involving the game of 24.
Okay, the game of 24. Now, I vaguely remember that from like school.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
Yeah, so it's this game where you get 4 numbers and you have to use basic arithmetic like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division to make the number 24.
Okay, yeah, I remember. So how does the Gödel agent play a game like that?
Well, at first it kind of struggled. It was using a pretty standard approach, trying different combinations of operations, but it wasn't very efficient. But then something amazing happened. The Gödel agent, it actually rewrote its entire approach to the game.
Rewrote like from scratch?
Yeah, pretty much. It came up with this totally novel solution that the researchers hadn't even thought of.
So it like figured out a better way to play.
Exactly. It discovered a more efficient, more elegant solution. And get this, it even learned to integrate code-based verification into its process.
So it's checking its own work.
Yeah, like a good student double-checking their answers.
That's wild.
It is. It really highlights the agent's flexibility and its ability to think outside the box, to come up with solutions that humans might not have considered.
Okay, so it's not perfect though, right? Are there any like hiccups or limitations they found?
Well, yeah, this is still early stage research. The Gödel agent, it's not, flawless. It can make mistakes.
Okay.
And one thing the paper really emphasizes is the importance of error handling.
So like knowing what to do when it messes up.
Exactly. And they found that this idea of thinking before acting was really crucial to the agent's success.
Okay, so not just jumping in, but like taking a step back and planning.
Exactly. Being deliberate and making sure its actions are well thought out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So where do they go from here? What are the next steps for this research?
Well, the paper outlines some really exciting future directions. One thing they're looking at is how to apply this technology to real-world problems.
Okay, so like taking it out of the lab and into the real world.
Exactly. They're also exploring ways to improve the agent's efficiency. Yeah. Right now, it requires a lot of computational power.
Yeah, that makes sense. All that thinking, all that self-improvement, it's gotta take a toll.
It does, but they're optimistic that with further research, they can make it more streamlined.
Okay.
And then there's the whole question of safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds powerful, like potentially really powerful.
It is, and with that power comes responsibility. So they're very focused on making sure that the Gödel agent remains safe and beneficial.
Okay, so like putting in like safeguards. Yeah. Like boundaries maybe.
Exactly, making sure that it's aligned with human values and that it's used for good.
Makes sense. This has been fascinating. Really eye-opening stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about the potential here.
It is. So where does this leave us? What are the big takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the Gödel agent is a real testament to human ingenuity. It shows us what's possible when we push the boundaries of AI research.
Yeah.
And it raises some really important questions about the future of intelligence itself.
Yeah. Like, what does it even mean for an AI to be truly self-learning?
Exactly. And what are the implications for humanity as AI continues to evolve?
So this deep dive it's given us a lot to think about. What are your final thoughts?
I think we're living in an incredibly exciting time. The future of AI is full of potential, but it's also full of challenges. And it's up to us to navigate those challenges responsibly.
Yeah, it's a future that we're all shaping together. So, we've been talking about this Gödel agent, and it's really got me thinking, if AI can like change its own rules, like, rewrite the algorithms that it's based on.
Yeah.
Where does that leave us?
Yeah, that's a big one. It really makes you think about like our whole relationship with technology. With intelligence, even.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you've got all this incredible potential for like real collaboration.
Right.
AI could actually boost human intelligence, help us solve problems we've been stuck on forever.
Imagine AI not just as a tool, but like a real partner, like working together.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what that could do for science, for medicine, even art.
Absolutely.
But then there's that other side.
Yeah.
The control issue.
Right.
Can we really be sure that these AI systems, especially if they get like smarter and more independent, are they gonna stay aligned with what we want, with human values?
It's a tough question. It's like we're kind of handing over the reins, right?
Yeah.
Letting AI shape its own future.
Yeah.
And maybe even ours along with it. It's a huge responsibility.
It is. It is. And we need to be careful. I mean, the paper talks about this, right? About oversight, regulation.
Absolutely.
Especially as AI keeps getting more and more powerful, more autonomous. We need to be thinking about ethical guidelines.
Right.
Safety mechanisms.
Right.
Making sure AI is actually used to benefit everyone.
Yeah, it can't just be a free-for-all.
Right, right. So I guess as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to challenge our listeners, go read this paper. Go do some digging on your own and really think about these questions. I mean, what does it even mean for an AI to be truly self-learning?
Right.
What are the good things that can come from it? But also, what are the risks? And how do we as a society, how do we make sure that we're steering this technology in the right direction?
These aren't just like abstract questions anymore. I mean, this is stuff that's going to shape our world.
It is.
We need to be having these conversations, bringing in different perspectives, different fields.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive. I mean, really, it's been a fascinating look at self-evolving AI. Hopefully it's got you curious and maybe even a little bit, thinking about the future of AI in a new way.
Yeah, it's definitely mind-blowing stuff.
It is. And remember, the future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's something that we're all creating together. So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep pushing the boundaries of what we know.
Absolutely.